You thought Blue Eyes wasn't going to be a top competitor post-Alliance Insight. Sure, guys, smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Isles content. We have case tournament data for you out of the 1 p.m. case tournament for Refined Gaming. Now, you guys do know this, that Refined does do case tournaments for pretty much every release out here for the Midwest and Ohio, and I try to cover these results because they're always pretty interesting to me. Now, in your top 16, we had 3 Malice decks, which is actually a little bit of a below representation. It was what we were kind of expecting out here, but I will say that's not bad. Now, we did have 2 Blue Eyes, which is really funny because Blue Eyes placed first and second out of this event, and you already have heard the doom scrolling from people going, no, Blue Eyes is dead, no, let it go. No, honestly, on case tournaments and regionals, I think Blue Eyes is going to continue to shine as one of those big decks that's going to be able to outgrind a lot of the competition, and that's really good. Now, we also had 2 Mitsurugi Fiendsmith decks. This is not using Ryzel components at all. This is actually an interesting take on the fact that maybe the Fiendsmith stuff can be used in other combinations of things out here, and I actually like that a lot. And then, of course, we did have 2 Memento decks. I think Memento has been going down as the special little deck that the TCG absolutely loves to try to annihilate and come up with the best possible combination of things. Now, your one-ups. We did have a Mitsu Ryzel list, which is pretty good. We did have a Chimera deck, which did end up sparking some interesting discussion here. I do like that. We also do have Mathmech Ryzel. That's an interesting pile as well. We also have some Fire King. The Odeon deck is still in working order, which I'm happy to see that. We also had somebody taking up the helm of White Forest, and we also had the explosive power of Tenpai out here as well. Overall, looking at this top 16, it's really good to see the amount of diversity present here. Let's pass on over to deck list. So starting things off here, we have the unlimited power of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yeah, leave it to this deck in probably one of the more basic forms to do well, but also main decking triple Ghost Ogre. You do see that we do have the 1 Ghost spell in here, which is really good. Actually pushing Fuas into the side. That's a crazy thing to think about out here too. Going with the triple Spirit Dragon options as well, and then of course 1 Tyrant, 1 of the Neo Blue Eyes. None of the no Ancient Fury Life Dragon, none of that extra new DLC. Don't even need it right now. Basic Blue Eyes. Second place, we're packing in triple Valor here into this Blue Eyes list. We're actually main decking the Fuas, which is good. You do see we do have access to the 1 Drill Beam, and bam, that's triple super polymerization. Nothing screeches louder than being able to board break your opponent with Blue Eyes White Dragon as they just sit there and look at you and go, are you kidding me right now, Duelist? And yeah, I think fundamentally this is one of the best things you could do. Also going with the triple Dragon's Mind here as well. So looking absolutely spectacular. Now we do have this pile. Hello, Ryzel Mitsurugi. I'm glad to see that you were able to do so well. The 1-1-1 split here. We love this. Hello, Chaos Hunter. How are you? And then, of course, yes, the Infernal Flame Banshee has been gaining a big trend of momentum out here. Actually, just being able to get the X search off of this. You know, getting 2 level 4s on the field should be not a problem whatsoever. I also do see we're doing the Dinomondo plays as well. This has not been something that I've seen too much of, but I like this idea. Next up here, we have, oh boy, here comes the Fiendsmith Mitsurugi. Now, yeah, you probably haven't thought about this, but what if you were able to take the combination and gut out the Ryzel cards and play Fiendsmith stuff and kind of achieve a better result? Well, you're able to do so. Also, Evil Swarm Nightmare down here is a ha-ha funny card. We saw this kind of creeping around a little bit, but I do like actually seeing Nightmare being a nightmare, if you know what I mean. Ooh, we have Malice for you. Actually going with the 2 Allure Darkness in here. This is pretty good. I also do see we are playing the I Meet You down here. Now, this has been a interesting tech choice. It's what? Reveal Cyber's Monster 23 under tech and add Ignister monster with the same attribute. Yeah, okay. I wonder what we're doing down here to quite possibly get the value off of that. It's almost like it's a free searcher to get to this. Good stuff. Next up here, we we have more Fiendsmith Mitsurugi for you. Wow, this deck actually was a mainstay challenger. Now, this build actually kind of extending things up here, going with the 2 Aramasas instead of the standard 1-ofs here, which is fine. Of course, going with the 2 Amino Murakumo no Mitsurugi, and of course the 1 Futsu. And then, of course, I mean, Amino Habagiri is just going to be the absolute gas in a deck like this. But list looks absolutely spectacular. I think you've got everything that you want to cover in a list like this. Pretty straightforward. Oh, hi, Chimera. How are you? I did not expect to see Chimera making any sort of guest appearance out here, especially with the Fiendsmith stuff, but you know, making a top 8 showing out here, I think is really, really good, actually. Also going with the Adjusta Golden here to bridge the gap into full Fiendsmith combo is always going to be really, really good. And of course, the Chimera fusions. Yeah, this package gets pretty nasty pretty quick. All right, next up here, we have Memento. Ah, yes. The deck that the TCG seems to love the most of out here. Just being able to get all the good, insane value. Also going with the 2 Goblin Gram breakouts here. Pretty strong, if I had to say the least. Also, there is the Agave Dragon for time. Be able to kind of cover all of your bases. Going with the Memento, all the standard good stuff that you're used to seeing in this deck. This deck is an absolute monster at what it's able to actually do. So, good stuff out here. Next up, we have the Mathmech Ryzel deck. So this is basically like, you're attempting to play this deck as a pure package, but you're using the Mathmech stuff as little free extensions to make sure that, you know, you can play the game. So this is basically, I didn't want to play Fiendsmith. I didn't want to dedicate any slots to any of the heavier baggage that kind of comes with this pile. And I think that's a viable strategy for sure. It just kind of depends on how you structure things up and go from there. Next up here, we have Malice action. Ooh, going with the triple Allure Darkness in here. You know, even with like the limitations on the Malice monsters, Allure still is some stupid free value. And I think like if you are able to essentially high roll into this stuff, it does essentially open up the door for big broken plays. So you can do the thing. Also, double Malice in the Mirror. That's not something that I've seen yet, and I don't really know if I like that all that much, because most builds are just playing that as the 1-up. Next up here, we have Fire King action for it. Ah, yes. I guess Old Reliable still working on here, going with the 2 copies of the Skyburn, going with the 2 copies of the Ghost Bells, and of course, this is actually pretty interesting, because, you know, a lot of 2 of hand trap slots here, and of course, maximizing on these, because we are going with the extra. We're also doing the Pot of Prosperity in here for the filtering options, as well. You know, you still got to bulk down on the 3-ofs down here. At least you can actually afford these now. So, looking a lot more affordable, at least on that front. Next up here, Odeon, yes, the Lord of the Heavenly Prisons. Pull out the trap cards, you know, start to set up the Statue of Anguish pattern and start to control your opponent's field while you hide behind the Apophis of Swamp Deities and actually control your opponent. And yes, that is actually Stygian Dirge out here. The fact that Stygian Dirge can actually show up and actually do some things is both horrifying to me and hilarious, but those are your options. Next up here, we have more Memento. Wow, this is just going second. There's no pot cards in here either. No Pot of Prosperity or any of that. We're just going with Triple Goblin, Biker, Grand Breakout. You got the Triple Super Poly in here for Board Breaking Express. You've also got Book of Eclipses in here as well. I mean, this is pretty good. Also, you do get to see the big Chaos Star Source Dragon. I feel like you don't really see him enough, but that's kind of cute. Next up here, we have Malice. Oh boy, so still maximizing on the numbers. Triple Backup Secretary actually playing the Triple Allure Darkness for filtering. You also do get to see I Meet You down here, continuing to be a fantastically good card. Also, 2 IPs in this deck. Okay, we're getting a little bit more creative in the way of the extra deck space, but that's actually kind of cool. Going with the Thrust on in to the Black Goat Laughs as well. Okay, I see absolutely nothing out of the ordinary here. All right, oh, we have some powerful White Forest combination for you. Actually, main decking the Fuas and main decking the Meows, which is fine. Of course, you know, Field Spell is broken AF in this deck. Can also be fuel for you to be able to capitalize. Also do see we're only playing the 1 Diabell Star now. No reason to maximize and change the numbers out here, because you should be able to good to go, because Wanted pulls from the graveyard as well. So, hey, it's really cool that you got consistency on your side here. And our last list here is some Tenpai OTK. Actually doing the Hornet drones in here as a one-of. Interesting that we weren't extending things out and trying more of like the engage stuff, but with, I guess, enough anti-hand trap stuff, maybe you just didn't want to do it. But standard board breaker stuff, sign the Kawaki Marrow down here. We're also doing the barrier, or the angel statue, on into the Silhouette Hat Rabbit. Huh. Interesting. But what do you guys think about the breakdown for this event? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.